asphalt has no memory. That's what they say. But here, the road remembers everything. You think your car is a sanctuary, a metal bubble locked away from the world. Forget that illusion. At night, the highway doesn't connect cities, it connects predators to their prey. What you are about to hear isn't just a series of coincidences. These are the testimonies of those who discovered that on the open road, danger doesn't come from the crash. It comes from what's waiting for you on the shoulder. Welcome to the night corridor. It often starts with a mundane need. Late-night hunger, an empty tank, or simply the inability to close your eyes. For one coder, everything changed at 2 a.m. in a quick-check station in the middle of nowhere. The smell of burnt coffee and the hum of neon lights create a hypnotic trance. But in the back of the store, near the refrigerators, something was breaking the logic of the world. A man, sitting cross-legged on the cold tile, staring into the glass with a demented intensity. Horror isn't always a scream. Sometimes it's a head that turns too fast towards you. Eyes too wide, a lip vibrating as if the air were freezing even though the room is stifling. It wasn't drugs, it was a different kind of hunger. The narrator fled, thinking he left that unease behind him, but the fluorescent lights gave way to the black void of the highway, and in the rear-view mirror, 2 glowing dots emerged. At 100 miles per hour, fear changes its nature. It becomes physical. A pickup truck ramming your bumper at full speed isn't a message, it's an execution in progress. In the total dark, between the cornfields, there is no police. There are only 2 wills clashing. Survival instinct forced a brutal break, sending the aggressor spiraling into the fields. But the most terrifying part isn't the accident. It's knowing that man was waiting for no reason, just for the pleasure of watching another life vanish in a ditch. Sometimes the trap uses your own humanity as bait. Route 82, New Mexico. A red hatchback with its hazards flashing. A woman alone searching for a signal with her phone. It's the perfect scenario for the Good Samaritan. But the desert does not forgive compassion. As soon as the door was unlocked, reality fragmented. A slurred voice, incoherent words, and suddenly a silhouette emerged from the shadow of the broken car. A man armed with a lead pipe. The click of a handgun under a seat is sometimes the only sound separating life from nothingness. The predator became the prey in an instant, but the true darkness revealed itself later in the silence of a sodium-lit gas station, wedged between the cushions of the passenger seat, plastic zip ties and a disposable burner battery pack. They didn't want his money, they wanted silence. They wanted him to disappear without a trace.
And what about those places of transition? Those Kansas gas stations where time seems to have stopped in 1980? The bathrooms there are chambers of anxiety. A woman with messy, sticky gray hair, wearing a winter coat in the middle of summer, playing a macabre game. She pretends to leave, slams the door, but stays there, motionless, breathing softly in the corner of the room, waiting for you to step out of your pathetic stall of protection. Psychological terror is a silent weapon. When she finally exits, she finds her again outside, crouched near the entrance, a knife in her hand, ready to spring like a rabid animal. Why? There is no answer. In the night corridor, madness doesn't need a motive. It only needs a target. The I-80 highway is a ribbon of bitumen crossing the void. In January, the cold is a bite that numbs the mind. A deserted rest area, a white van parked way at the back, lights off. You think you're alone. You wash your face with ice water to drive away the fatigue, but the reflection in the mirror tells a different story. The van has turned on its headlights. It's waiting for you to get back on the road.
The harassment begins. Flashing lights, a driver pointing at your truck bed even though it's empty. A lie to force you to pull over into the dark shoulder. If that driver hadn't found that truck stop, if that massive trucker hadn't stepped out to confront the two shadows in the van, what would have happened? The two men inside didn't speak. They stared at the horizon with waxen faces. They had tried to open the tailgate of the truck while moving, leaving dirty handprints on the cold metal. The road is a monster that feeds on our inattention. Every headlight in your mirror could be a traveler or your last nightmare. We like to believe that danger is rare, but these stories prove that all it takes is one stop too many, one look too many, to become the next story on this channel. Tonight's lesson is bitter. The next time you see hazard lights in the dark or a strange silhouette near a station fridge, do not slow down. Do not listen to your curiosity, and certainly not your pity. The bitumen has no memory, but it has many buried secrets. Stay vigilant. Keep your doors locked and only stop where the light is strong enough to chase away the shadows. Subscribe to the Night Corridor if you want to keep seeing what others ignore. But never forget, the next headlight you see might just be the last one.